Hey, what's up, guys? Just made it back from the trip. Got in at about 4:15 this AM. Around 1,200 miles in 17 hours. Drove it straight through. Long trip. I was just going to show you this real quick. Matt, you guys, I don't know if you remember him or not. He was the guy that we built the 65 Mustang for. My son that you haven't seen on videos in a while. His friend, he works at the Denton County. I don't know if it's a transit authority or what, but he maintains all the transportation buses that for the county, and he's a diesel mechanic there, and he's got a buddy there that I guess has got a 350Z, and this is the intake off of it, and they're doing they want this milled out. I don't know exactly what they're looking to get done here, so I gotta figure that out, but they dropped it off while I was gone, and then they brought a plate to go over it, so that plate will get welded to the top, and I'm guessing these will become injector bungs, maybe, for the top. I don't know what I'm doing with these. He did say something about drilling and tapping something, but so that'll be a pretty cool little project, and something a little different. Hopefully I can get the new mill up and going. It'd be a fun little project to do as a first project on that. And speaking of it, as you can see, there's water on the floor there. I was telling Tommy Shoe about this. The water that comes into the building here has nothing to do with the flooding outside. You see around the building, there is no standing water, around the building. Okay, it's muddy for sure, and there's a little bit right there because it's, worn out from me driving into it. But the issue is right here, and I don't know if it's going to be backlit or not. But let's see if I can get you a shot. There's a seam right there in the gutter. I'm putting you up to the sun, and water pours out of that and hits this landing right here, and the slope of the concrete, unfortunately, instead of being sloped out, it's sloped in, so water pools here, and the next thing you know, it kind of runs in there and runs in there. So I just need to get up here and deal with this, which we can work with some sheet metal stuff here, and you can kind of even see it. It's actually at a low point at the joint, and it really should be a high point pushed up so that it drains to that one and that one downspouts. So that's the issue. I just I need to get out here and fix it, and I just haven't done it. Now over here, of course, yeah, we got the standing water, and you see the truck over there with the mill on it, and I didn't run into any rain. I ran through about 5 minutes, a quick little shower somewhere, I think before I got to Memphis on the way back, and that was it. So got fortunate on that. It's a good thing too, because I did I got this thing wrapped up. I had it wrapped up really good, and it did well for, I don't know, maybe 300 miles, and then it just slowly started unraveling. And what's interesting is the 3.5 mil ABS plastic plastic sheet held up better than the tarp. So I had to, well, first of all, I did dry WD-40 on it, and then covered it in the plastic and taped that down good, and then used some straps and more tape and some bungee cords to do the other. But once it starts flapping, and it starts flapping on you, it freaking came apart. So you can kind of get a look at the mill here a little bit. It's Cincinnati. It's got a horizontal spindle on it and a vertical spindle. Kind of interesting that it has both 50 taper and 40 taper spindles, which is kind of good and bad. It's good that it does have a 50 taper spindle just for the rigidity of it for the horizontal, but it's bad that I got to maintain two different sets of tooling for both. But anyway, I'm happy with how everything worked out. The first 200 miles I stopped pretty frequently, and every time these straps definitely needed some adjustment. They were kind of loosening up, but after that they held pretty tight most of the way. I think I might have adjusted them, ratcheted them down one more time after that. But anyway, apologize for the lack of videos. It just, once I got on the road and driving, it's you're just spending all the time driving. I didn't even want to take 5 minutes to make a video and another 15 or 20 to upload it. You know, I just wanted to get in the car and get going. I had intentions of making videos from the road, and I think I made one. But as you guys probably saw, went by and saw, I'll turn the camera around, went by and saw Tommy Shoe and Jeff Chance. It was good seeing those guys in person. I got a couple of pictures and I think maybe a little bit of video from Tommy's, but nothing really. I had intentions of doing videos with both those guys, but just, I don't know, it's just when you get there and you're just chatting and talking, and there's so many things to talk about, to kind of, I mean, I could have just turned the camera on and captured some impromptu footage, and Tommy kind of did that. Of course, I grabbed his camera and started rambling a little bit. But both those guys were awesome and gracious hosts, and you know, and it was good to meet Tommy and his family, and Faye. I've never met her. His mom, sweet lady, and his brother Scooby. It was good to see all those guys, and then I met John and his family as well. 2 daughters. I'm terrible with names. I know the other names because I've seen them so much in video, but. John, I'm sorry, I don't remember your daughter's names, but John offered to let me spend the night at his house. He's got a guest bedroom there in the Vargo mansion, and so we did a little messing around there. Looked at the Mustang, did a little bit of welding, and did some drone piloting. And I've actually never messed with one of those, and I'm gonna get one. And you know, especially with it being as inexpensive as the one he got. But I'm gonna get one that'll support the GoPro, and it'll be, I don't know, just kind of cool to mess around with here and get some shots from above. But I mean, it's probably not gonna be, it's not like I live in some cool city that you're gonna get all these cityscapes with it. But we can get barnscapes, that's, I mean, there's a lot to be said for barnscapes. All right, guys. I was gonna show you this real quick, and I just was in a hurry when I loaded up, and the box they had this stuff in broke on me, so I just dumped it all on the floor mat in here. The DRO I took off of it. I had extra straps and plastic with me. This is a catch pan that goes down on the bottom. I just sat it in here. But as you can see, I got some good tooling, and I'll get all this stuff out. There's some interesting stuff, and you can see the 2 different size tapers. This is a 40 taper. That's a 50 taper. So yeah, I'll get that out, and we'll get this thing unloaded in another. The good news is the bad news is we got 4 more inches of rain, more flooding, roads closed, lots of crap when I was gone. And then, but now we've got like 5 days with sun and no rain. You can see the sun's out. Of course, the bad part is where it's wet is kind of shaded, but I'm thinking 2-3 more days this will be dried out enough to get the wrecker back in here and get this unloaded and set it off on the dollies. All right, guys, I'm gonna wrap this up and get it uploaded. Talk to you soon.